Inset cabinets, framed cabinets, Euro boxes, templates, air gap, drop-in, undermount, hold on, peanut accessory? So these are just a few key phrases that you might run into when you're working on your kitchen remodel. And today, I want to go through those phrases, those special keywords that you will need to know about when talking to your kitchen designer and contractor for a successful project. So really quick, before we dive deeper into the kitchen design basics for beginners and all the key phrases you need to know, take one quick second, subscribe to my channel where I teach you all of the ins and outs of kitchen design and remodeling. Everyone, my name is Kerstin Cobb, kitchen designer with King's Kitchen, your kitchen design and remodeling team in Tacoma, Washington. Now let's get started. Now first, let's talk about cabinets. And really there are three main ways of building a cabinet. You'll have the main American way, which is considered or called the face framed or framed cabinet box construction. So this simply means that you have a cabinet box, and on the very front, in most cases, it's a 3/4 inch of a real wood face frame that gets applied, as you can see in this picture. Now, the main key point to remember is that this face frame will cause your drawers, for example, to be smaller because they have to clear through the face frame, but also your doors get hinged to the face frame. So this just means when the doors are shut, they lay on top of the face frame and there is a reveal. So you see the gaps between the doors where the face frame shines through. Secondly, the biggest contender to American framed cabinets are the so-called Euro boxes or frameless boxes. So you'll hear a lot of frame cabinets and frameless cabinets. So the frameless cabinets is the European way of building a cabinet. And this means you usually have a thicker box construction that holds the strength within that box construction. So there's no front face frame needed for its sturdiness. So this also means no face frame, you have bigger access into the box construction, so your doors can be wider, and your doors get hinged directly to the inside sides of that box construction. So a lot of times you'll have European hinges, and then when your door shuts, there's a tiny, tiny reveal and gapping, and it's usually like 1/8 of an inch. So it's super tiny. And in frameless, when all of your cabinets sit next to each other, it looks like your drawers and your doors all sit flush next to each other. Now, there is another way of building cabinets in the US, which is called the inset cabinet. So sometimes you'll hear the word inset. So this simply means that you have your face frame, but your drawer fronts and your doors sit flush within that face frame. So they sit inside. And the number one thing you have to remember is that you go with a quality manufacturer when you're working with inset, because the minute your face frame is not completely straight, it will interfere with shutting your drawers and your doors. Next on my list of key phrases you might run into is a blind corner or blind corner cabinet. So this is simply a cabinet that extends into the blind space of a corner. So normally if you just use a standard blind cabinet, they're really unfunctional, but there are several of cabinet accessories you can add to your blind corner cabinet that will make it really functional again. Which brings me to the peanut accessory. So the peanut accessory is a blind corner accessory that is very, very common and inexpensive, and we use it in a lot of projects. It's really fun because you get to pull that peanut-shaped accessory all the way out towards you. So if you have heavy pots and pans on there, you just simply push them right in, and when you need them, you pull them out. So it's really good, again, for ergonomic design. You don't have to bend down, dig deep into the blind corner. You're pulling everything towards you. Moving on to countertops. Another thing you might hear all the time when talking to your kitchen designer or contractor is 3 cm. They'll always talk about countertops and say 3 cm. Well, this simply describes the thickness of your countertop. And most standard way of handling countertops is to use a 3 cm thick countertop, which is about a 1.54 inch thick countertop. Now in quartz, when you have material that is manufactured, most manufacturers will also make you a thinner 2 cm countertop, and you can use that simply as a 2 cm countertop, or you could have your fabricator actually miter or laminate it for a really chunky countertop, a really thick looking countertop. When you are finalizing your countertops, often you will run into the words undermount, top mount, or drop in. And this simply explains the way your kitchen sink will sit on top or under your countertop. So you can have either an undermount application where your sink gets secured underneath of your countertop, or you can have a top mount or also drop in sink mount, which basically means it sits on top of your countertop and just kind of drops into your sink cutout. Now, be careful, because you can't do an undermount application with every material. So with laminate, you're forced to go the top mount direction. But with most hard surfaces like granite or quartz, people are loving the undermount application. When it comes to scheduling your project and you've got your cabinet scheduled, they might say, oh, we're going to get your template done, and then we're going to get your countertops installed. So the template is basically a step before the countertop install, when somebody comes out to your house and actually measures your existing or newly installed cabinets to prep the right measurements for your countertop install. Also, when finalizing your countertops, somebody will ask you about your edge detail and what kind of edge detail you would prefer for your countertops. So the edge detail is simply the edge finish, how your countertop gets finished on the front edge, and there are several different edge details to choose from. Be careful though, because not all of them are free. So there are some that will add a hefty charge onto your budget, but in most cases, people are loving the eased edge detail, which is a very simple detail to do in the fabrication shop, and most fabricators will offer it for free. Last but not least on my list of keywords and phrases you might run into while remodeling your kitchen is a so-called air gap or dishwasher air gap. So this simply means it's that little space that is between your faucet and your sink that could help with potential backflow of your dishwasher. Now, most newer dishwashers actually don't require an air gap anymore due to the fact that they get installed with an air loop, but several counties will still require you to have an air gap, and when you sell your home, the inspector might call it out. So it's really important you get that figured out with your professional that you're working with if you should get an additional hole cut in your countertop for this air gap, because remember, you can cut as many holes as you want to, but you can't take them away anymore. So sometimes when we're not sure if people want to have an air gap, or they're not sure if they're ever going to sell the house, we say, well, we can cut one hole and you can use it as a soap dispenser, and then down the road, if you ever do need an air gap for something, you can always use that hole as your air gap. Okay, these should be the most common phrases and keywords that will come to you during your kitchen remodel that you might have no idea what they mean, and I really hope that this helped you to prepare a little bit better. If there's anything else that you're running into that you have no clue what it means, make sure to drop your comment below and I'll get your questions answered. Also, don't forget to like this video. The more people that like it, the more YouTube will share it with others, and it can help others during their kitchen remodeling. And also subscribe to my channel. I teach you all of the ins and outs about kitchen design and remodeling, and you can ask away questions if you're maybe in a current remodel and you're running into some questions and some issues. So feel free to reach out. Make sure to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell on the notifications, and this way you'll get notified whenever I release new videos and you will stay up to date. Other than that, thank you so much again for watching. I really enjoy hanging out with you guys and talking about kitchens, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.